Welcome everyone. Let's jump right into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is running the show here. We have to see where the price of Bitcoin goes so we can see where the price of these miners go. And if we see this breakout potentially happen, which is a very likely chance of happening, breaking to the upside, we will see all these miners go up with it. So we zoom in right here. We actually had 3 touch points on this ascending support line right here. And then we have a still horizontal line here with a couple of touch points. We have 1, 2, 3. If we continue to head up towards this horizontal resistance, we could see potentially a 4th touch. And if we break through that and create a support here at the $59,000 mark around that area, this is a very loose resistance because we have such price action up top here, over here, over here. So this whole area could be considered as one big resistance box. So if we break this box or this area of resistance and we test it and we jump off of it, we bounce off of it, we can see a price target here of $75,000, $75,000. But if we zoom in, we can actually see some other stuff going on too, some mini patterns unfolding. We zoom in right here. So we see movement coming here, breaking through that, and also the very top of this resistance of this broadening wedge was resistance of the EMA as well. So this was a very crucial point to break up to the upside. We found it as support, and now we're just right in the wave all the way up here. So we will see a retest of this $59,000 mark soon, probably tomorrow. But if we see another rejection, we have to hold this spot right here at the $56,000 mark, because if we don't, we could see a drop all the way down to $40,000, which I don't think is very likely. There's a lot of fundamental news going on right now about Bitcoin, and just the institutional investment alone makes me really question if this will actually go down. I know a lot of people are speculating that Bitcoin is at a top recently, but we will have to see what Bitcoin has in store for us. But we will find that answer out very soon, because we are at the very end of this ascending triangle. So we're very close to the apex, and usually it gets broken up to the upside sooner than later. So it doesn't usually wait till the very end of this tip to break out. We usually see something break out a little bit before it. So right now is the moment of truth. If we can break through this, retest it, we can see our new 74 to 75,000 all-time high for Bitcoin. But if we can't, we're going to be pushed down here, retest this, and hopefully it holds. If not, we're going to be going down way lower. So that is it for right now for Bitcoin. It's still looking bullish. We have some support right here on the RSI momentum indicator, and we could see, apart from this, a potential retest of this $59,000 resistance. Very important to move up to the upside. All right, let's start the TA here with Marathon Digital. It did a nice bounce today, breaking back up onto the upside of this ribbon, using it as support. So if we zoom in here, we broke out initially from this triangle, found support, found resistance. Ultimately, we broke through, found resistance here at the $57 mark, until when Bitcoin did that little dump 2 days ago, it dropped massively all the way down here to this resistance box. And when we find this resistance box, and why it's important, is because we found multiple touch points right here, wicking over here, 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 price action over here, same thing with over here. So we found that support. We turned this resistance box into support, which is a very positive sign. That's what we want to see here, especially during these bull runs. And apart from finding support here at this resistance box, we broke through the EMA back and reclaimed it as support. We will see tomorrow if this holds, but if we see some nice price action right here, part where this Fibonacci extension level is right here, we can see a potential move back up to retest this area of resistance at the $57 mark. And from there, my price target is right here at this yellow line at the $64 mark. But I will be taking profits at the $63 mark just to be safe, because if you time it right onto the money or where your price target is, most likely people are going to be thinking the same thing and pulling out a little bit early. So you want to be on the lookout for that too. We also can see here at the RSI, it's still neutral. Back where we had our local high right here at the $57 mark, it was super overextended, way above the RSI indicator right here and right here. We also saw some bearish divergence too, because we saw a lower high and a higher high, and then we saw a slightly higher high and a slightly lower high. So bearish divergence right here, warning us that there was going to be a drop down, broke through the EMA, ultimately found support, and now it bounced back and found it as support once again. So Mara is looking very strong, very healthy. It's looking like a lot of investors know the worth of Mara and they don't want to let go of it that easily. They're not shaking out as much as some other miners, which is a very good sign because we can see the next pump up to the $64 mark. So let's draw our fib extension tool to see where the price can go now. Okay, so starting at the beginning of this impulse, going straight up here to the top of that impulse, down to a retracement and the end of the impulse. So right here is where we find our new fib extension levels to look at. And look at that, our golden pocket area right here is lining up exactly where our resistance is. And that is a very good indicator because once we come up into the golden pocket, we always find some sort of rejection. It's very likely that the price gets rejected down to a lower fib level before we can continue to break it and go and move on to the upside. So it is a very confluent that we're seeing a lot of resistance here at the $64 mark because that is the price target of this symmetrical triangle breakout. So key things to look at is we want to test this resistance here from our local high at $57 and then break through it, use it as support, and then move on up to our next level is this golden pocket right here. So we have to break through that in order to see continued upside to the $73 mark, which will be our next price target after our $64 mark right here. But overall, Mara is looking very healthy. We had a huge run up. We had to have some sort of a pullback. And from there, we saw a retake of this EMA ribbon as support to move on to higher price. So it is looking very good. The last thing I want to take a look at here for Mara is this Elliott wave pattern that is unfolding. So we have our first wave moving upwards. Then we have our second wave, which is a retracement wave, back to our third wave right here, a move upward, which is going to be typically it's the largest move of these 5 waves. Then we have a fourth wave, which is another retracement pullback wave. It hit perfectly right here on this resistance box. And now we're in the middle of our last and fifth wave, which comes up here right at the $64 price target. And after we have these 5 waves, we always see some consolidation, some sort of a pullback, and we usually see an ABC pattern, something like this, where we can see ultimately the price go back down here to the $55 range, all the way up to the $57 range. But in between this range, we can see some consolidation happening before making the next leg up to that $73 mark. So be on the lookout for that also. So let's take a look at RIOT now. RIOT not doing anything too crazy. It's still consolidating in this giant symmetrical triangle, which we've been doing for the last weeks to months. And nothing too crazy just yet. We are going very close to this apex, so the very tip of this triangle. So we will see a move very soon. But if we zoom in right here, we can see exactly where the price is moving in accordance to the EMA ribbon. So once we bounced off the bottom of this support, we broke through the EMA ribbon, which is bullish, found it as support, but ultimately got rejected at this diagonal support line, pushing us down and rejecting us down below the EMA ribbon. Then we saw that again today. We saw a pump, but again, the EMA ribbon was used as resistance. So I see continual further downside to this area, testing this fib extension level at the $47 mark, and then ultimately testing this diagonal resistance or diagonal support level at $46 until we can see a movement back to the upside and retest to move on. But so far, RIOT has not been doing anything too crazy. It's still consolidating in this shape. So once we see that breakout, then we can see where the next moves are. But the price target again for this breakout of the symmetrical triangle is all the way up here at $98, so almost $100. This is a huge triangle. RIOT has moved up massively, if you can see right here. So no doubt the price action is going to be very high for RIOT. Okay, last but not least, let's take a look at SOS. So we have the chart right here, but before I jump in and start our TA, I just want to remind you guys to hit the like, hit the subscribe button if you enjoy this content. If you want to see more of it, I'm trying to post daily. So if you want to see more of this and you want to support the channel, please hit that like and subscribe. But let's get into it. So SOS is now in this descending triangle that broke out a couple days ago. If we zoom in here on the price action, let's see exactly what's going on because it's a very tight squeeze. And we can see that it is breaking up to the upside, finding this EMA ribbon as support, and now it's just squeezing in between this fib level and then this resistance from previous price action. So it's very crazy what we're seeing right here, this squeezing of these candles. It's not normal, but we are also going down lower here on the RSI, so we are resetting for another move to the upside. It's still looking bullish. I don't know if the price action is being manipulated or what's going on, but we need to see a move soon, because once we see price squeezed into a small area between two areas of resistance and support, we're going to see a massive move to the upside. So what we want to see is we want to move up here, test the $6 region, but once we break this neckline right here that we've been forming, this line, we will see continued up movement. But for right now, SOS is not doing much. It reclaimed its support above the EMA, which is a very great sign, pretty bullish, and the RSI has been reset. So now it's in the middle of the lane and not on top. So it's not in the oversold or overbought territory, which is a very good sign. So what we see here happening is we see a lot of resistance right here. Very critical that once we break over above $6, we have to move back and move up higher. This area right here, resistance. So that's what we're looking at for tomorrow. Moving up to over $6 and then moving up to ultimately close that neckline and create our massive W pattern that's been forming for the last couple weeks now. All right, and that is it for this episode. If you want me to do some TA on other different things, other cryptos, put it down in the comment section below. I'll take a look at it, and then I'll be uploading more this weekend. When the stock market is closed, I'm gonna be doing some more analysis on altcoins, okay? Because at that point, hopefully Bitcoin has broken out, but we will see. Only time will tell. Other than that, have a great day, guys. Peace out.